There we go. I believe we are up and running. Let's have a look. Okay. We are ready to start the last block of this group. Good morning, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. We're on the back side of the key block. So 6 faces all together on this project. We've had the key block, and we've got collar blocks 1 and 2, 3 and 4. They're not absolutely finished yet. I've got to do that last gradation thing on the wood chips, but we'll catch that at the end of the process. Now let's get the next one. This is the blue. The blue. That'll give me the water in the trough and the light reflections up at the top. Last block, this has had the feeling of a long, huge project. It's nothing. This is almost really not much more than 1 day's work or 1.5 days work. I've done like 90 minutes on these things, almost finished each one each time. So it really would have been just 1.5 days work for this. But we have the mood and the feeling of it, something that takes weeks and weeks of time, but it really shouldn't have done. Okay, we've got a couple of hard spots here. Let's see where they're going to fall. It's quite a few hard spots. This might not have been the best block to use for blue, but let's see. That's in the clear. That's in the clear. That one's in the clear. Look at that big hard spot there. It falls right at the bamboo. No problem. Oh, we just missed it. The blue downstream comes right beside it. We're okay. We're okay. We're going to make a tap noise. If anybody's got headphones on, we have to be careful to warn them about that. I'm going to bang with my hammer here, just one quick tap. Are you ready? If you got headphones on. So let's see. 3, 2, ready. And if there's anybody new here who doesn't know what's going on, what we've got is a transfer sheet. This is a very thin paper laminated to a carry sheet. It holds the areas that we're going to carve for the collar block on this. Let's see. Don't get confused by this layout in the back. It's just a piece of junk paper that I picked up. It was left over from last year's series, so these markings mean nothing. And peel off the unneeded back sheet. Bit too much glue in one spot here. Bit too much glue. Let's see. Pull the fibers at the edge here. Looking good. It's fun stuff. Okay, quit playing around, Dave. I had a little interesting experience this morning, about half an hour ago. I was up early getting ready, had the stream stuff all okay. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Sunday morning in Asakusa. It's the kind of morning that what I used to do before we were doing these streams and before we were so busy, I used to go for a walk, take my camera outside and stuff like that and go walking around, whatever. Anyway, I had no time to go for walks, so I sat outside the shop just for a minute, standing outside the shop, just watching the people walk by, people walking their dogs. It's early in the morning, 7:30. A coffee shop across the street does a roaring business on Sundays. The local community, the old folks all gather there. They've been out sweeping the streets for a weekly cleanup, and after that's over, they head for the coffee shop and sit and chat. And there was a bit of a lineup outside the coffee shop. It's a bit too crowded, and they have to line up to get in. And as I'm standing there, walking down the street towards the coffee shop, heading for this lineup, comes two people who I know. I don't know them. I don't know their names. I don't know who they are. But it's a guy, a young man, and his daughter. A young guy and his daughter is about maybe just around grade 1 or something, or maybe a little bit preschool. I'm not quite sure. She's not a little baby. She's a little girl. And I know this couple because they appeared in cameo in one of the videos I made here 2 years ago. I went to Sensoji Temple, put my binaural microphones in my ears and did a video of walking up towards Sensoji Temple up the last stage of the Nakamise Street. And partway along through making that video, those of you who have seen it know what I'm going to say. There was partway as I was walking up through the video, a man and his daughter came up from behind me, and their voices appeared in this video. Then they became visible, and we sort of walked together up towards Sensoji Temple. And they got ahead of me for a little bit and disappeared, and then I came back up and caught up to them when we were up at the temple. I had never spoken to them. They just came into the video and disappeared, and that was the end of it. And when you put up videos like this, you're sort of supposed to get people's permission and stuff like that. And at that time, I thought because they were just a casual walking by while I was doing a video, I didn't get their permission. I didn't know who they were. They disappeared at that moment. And here they are now. There's the same guy and the daughter. It's 2 years later. She's grown up quite a bit. And she skips along just the same. There must be maybe a Sunday morning routine for her and her dad to go out for a walk. They obviously live somewhere nearby. And I sat there. As soon as I recognized who they were, I thought, should I go and say hello and like introduce myself? And they probably have never seen this thing. They probably don't know it exists. Here there is a catch on YouTube of this guy and his daughter. And I got cold feet. I thought, I think I'd better not do this, because there's two possible outcomes. One is if I show it to them and tell them what's happened and get them up to date on it, they might be happy about this. But it's also quite possible that they may not be on board with this. Putting a little girl's video up on YouTube is sort of, when you think about it, it's not sort of something you're supposed to do. Obviously, she wasn't the main point of the video, but she was in it. So I sat there this morning and thought, I think actually I just better keep quiet. So I didn't say anything. But there is a lot. They obviously live nearby. On Sunday mornings they go for walks. So at some point in the future, maybe when it's a bit farther past, maybe when she's a bit older, if I see them again, maybe I'll tell them about it. Maybe. I'm not quite sure. I don't want to spoil it. It's a beautiful, beautiful video. Many people have said things about it. That's so wonderful, the scene with the daddy and the little girl. But at the end of the day, I didn't have permission to use their imagery on YouTube, so I think the best thing to do here is just sort of stay quiet. I'm not quite sure. Okay, we're underway. You've got the carving started. The chat is up and running, is it? What have we got here? Oh, look at this. You guys have already been talk. I'm not catching up on this. Oh, color spelling. Soka. Color spelling. Oh, Soka. Well, I'll do it my way, and you guys can do it your way. I'm fine with that, whatever. But what am I doing? This is the color block for the blue tones on these two prints. And on one of the prints, it's actually going to be blue water falling down. The other one, it's going to be blue reflection / water in the globe. And we're going to pick up a bit of a color tint on the chisel. And then we've made the guy's shirt. Guy's shirt? Is it a guy or gal? Whatever, guy's shirt. Blue. The other reason I didn't go and talk to the dad and his girl this morning was that it was about 7:40. It was only like 20 minutes to go before the stream starts. And there wasn't really time to explain to them, bring them indoors, put the headphones on, show them the video, and do all this before stream time. So that was another reason why I hesitated to talk to them. So. They're in the coffee shop now, I guess. They went in about 7:40. So. I'm still very nervous about this blade breaking. We're at the tip of the blade still, the front end of the blade. It broke the other day quite strongly, and I'm a little not confident about the strength of the steel there. So I'm half expecting it to snap off here any minute. New blades really take sometimes quite a long time to settle down, or to reach the point in the steel where it's good, strong steel. This one may be okay, I don't really know. It'll be 2 or 3 more sharpenings before I get more confident that it's not going to just snap off any time. Okay, that's one up to the top of the water. I should check the stream here, this chat here, I guess. So I was asking, why would you need a permission to publish a video when they appear if it was shot in a public place? A couple of reasons. I know. Again, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know the details of the delicacies of the law here. I know if you're making a video outside and somebody just walks in front of it and walks by, there's clearly no real issue here. They're just part of the background. But the argument could be made that those two people are they appear a bit extensively in this video. They're there for, a good portion of it. If it's a 5-minute scene about Sensoji Temple, they're visible for maybe like 3 minutes of that scene. It's not just a casual walk by and disappear. I didn't know they were there. I didn't focus on them and make the video about them, but they appeared extensively. The other issue is there's a little girl. I know Japan is really, really, really sensitive about this, about kids. I know if you shoot something that's near a daycare center or hoikon or something, you're not supposed to do that. I know. And if kids' faces are visible and stuff. I mean, if I went to near a public park and shot some video of kids and stuff, you're going to find the police knocking on your door and they want to inspect your computer. Has this guy got a bunch of stuff here? It's a sensitive issue. So yeah, if for no other reason than that, it's a little girl. So whatever the bare legalities of the law say in any given country, this is an issue that you have to be careful with. And I put up a video on YouTube that showed footage of a little girl walking along. And it's not so cut and dry and safe for me. So, I wasn't able to talk to them that day because I was making a soundless video, with a one cut. I wasn't able to stop and talk to them and get their name and stuff. Anyway, whatever. It's up there. It's fine. I think it's fine. I'm okay. I'm not trying to exaggerate the risk or anything. But it made me think twice today before talking to them, because the answer could be, no, please take it down. Please take it down. It's quite possible that's what Mummy's idea would be or something. So I just quietly let them go in the restaurant and let's just forget about it for now. Okay, we're about finished the cutting here, a couple of minutes, and I'll be finished going around the outlines, and then it'll be time to make some noise for 5 or 10 minutes, and then it'll come back to quiet, clearing, crunchy sounds. So we're going to see all the three steps of the process here this morning. Step 1 has been cutting the outlines. Step 2 will be clearing the wide areas of waste wood with a big chisel. And step 3 will be, the extra space in between those two things. So the peaceful time here is just about over. Today for me, this is a Sunday morning, and our cherry season, the cherry blossom season is now pretty much done. And we're in a little bit of a, not slump, that's the wrong word, a bit of a slightly quieter time before the summer tourist season hits. So whereas our print parties have been absolutely sold out for the past few weeks, they're now tapering off. And this morning there's only one party scheduled so far today. They're probably going to fill up as the day goes on, but at the moment there's only one party scheduled. We've got 2 staff. Kawai-san's coming with Nakamura-san. So I'm actually off party duty today. I'll be talking to the visitors. I'll see them. I'll come up and say hello, sit with them at coffee time or something like that. But I won't be running the parties today. I'm heading downstairs. I'll be doing construction work at the very front of the shop. We're going to try and get the entrance way done. Yesterday I went to the home center. I got some new locks for the door, got the door frame in place, hung the front door. We'd taken it down for painting and stripping and cleaning. I rehung it yesterday. You never get a door back in the same place it originally was, but it's close enough. It looks good. And I'm going to try and hang, if I get a chance today, I'm going to try and hang the first of the giant posters. We've got 2 huge posters prepared for the front entrance. And they're like 2.5 meters high, 2 meters wide. These things are big. We're going to catch people's attention as they walk down the street by hook or by crook. So. And if it goes well, I might get one of those hung today. And then Aoyama-san, who has been off to take care of his father. His father died last week, and Aoyama-san was taking care of him. He'll be back tomorrow. So construction will finally be getting back moving again after a hiatus during our cherry season. Okay, as I said, time to make some noise. I think I've got this all covered. Let me just have a last little look here. I think we're good to go. Okay, Tony, somebody's asking about the black parts here. These are shadows, né? I know John, let me pop up the original. Or John's sketch. Here's John's sketch. You can see, for example, in the water here, underneath the ladle, there's a sort of dark shadow where the horizontal bamboo shadows the water. The ladle handle goes into the water. So that, am I on screen? Where this ladle handle is partly in the water. How can I say this? These black parts are staying in blue because they're actually blue. They're water and shadowed water. And John has left it clear here. This is clear white. This will be blue water tone. And this will be shadowed water tone. So of course, if I cut the blue at the end here, that shadow would look a bit funny. It wouldn't have any blue touch to it. So the black is doing 2 jobs here. The black is the outlines itself, and the black is also shadowing. And if this was sort of an ukiyo-e type printer, well, ukiyo has no shadows, but if it was a Shinhanga type printer or something, you could do it this way, or you could do these shadows on a separate block, so you've got the ability to modulate them and do them lighter or darker. But here on a simple print like this, the shadows are cut in the key block. So the color block for me is this area. This is the water. Whether part of it's shadowed or not is irrelevant to me at the moment. So. I think that's what it is. It's a bit difficult to understand what we're talking about here, but the other question of keeping the black lines, when we cut any given color area, it's perhaps visible here. The black line that outlined this ladle handle, I've cut sort of around halfway through it here. so that this blue actually goes halfway into that black line. And when I did the color block for the ladle, it went roughly about halfway into it. On a print like this, the black is printed so strongly that it kills the colors. So those color lines inside the black won't show at all. It looks like you've got a black line and the color just disappears underneath it, is the way that the thing seems. If we printed the black very soft and gray, you'd see the line at the end of the color. But this is going to be dense enough. Okay, I got it, like I said, I've got to make some noise. Let's find a place to set this up. My high-tech toolbox. And our friend. I think we can turn this off. It might be better for the camera light anyway. We don't need it here at this level. Let's get rid of that image height. Okay, 5 or 10 minutes of noise. Maybe I'll move the microphone up a bit out of the way of things here. There won't be any visit from Cameron today. Today's Sunday here in Tokyo. Cameron's off at church, I'm sure. Change to the close-up glasses. And away we go. Careful about this one. This is dangerous. Could lose that really easily. Registration mark too. They're just invisible. key lines on the back, so I've got to be careful if I end up with a lump under here or something and smashing it too much, you can scratch the back. So I've got to be a bit careful with this. This normally just hitting it's no problem, but if there's a big chunk of wood under there, that's dangerous. Something else happening here that maybe you don't notice. I don't know. I know it may not be visible in the camera. Yeah, maybe. I'm moving my hand up and down on this thing. If it's small taps, if I'm pulling out something, small area, my hand is up on this thing. You know, tap, tap, tap. If I did that with the hand at the back, I can't control this thing at all. So tap, tap, tap. And we lose a huge amount of power. The leverage is really gone, but we don't need it when we're tap, tap, tapping. And then just now, when I switched back to digging out this channel, I chop, 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 moved my hand back on this thing. And of course, more leverage, more power. Pull up more wood with each stroke. So you vary. It's like an accelerator. You know, you can do a small amount of power, medium power, max power. Okay, basically cleared up to the edge nearby each area. So I can put this away for a minute and move to the wider one. What have we got happening over here? Anything? What have we got? What have we got? What have we got? Comments, comments, comments. Somebody, stream trouble? No, nothing at this end. 100% okay. Drop frame 0. We're looking good at this end. Is the hammer having trouble? Yeah, it is. It's a little slipped down. I know. I should be. It's not going to fall off. It's really, 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 really tight. I should poke it down a bit. We're coming up to the rainy season soon, and this thing's going to be really tight. It's when we were on a really dry days, the wood shrinks a little bit, and handles get loose on hammers on dry days. And in the midwinter, when it's really dry, what you've got to do sometimes is just drop it in a bucket of water for a while, and it swells up really tight. It's pretty good now. And for the next 6 months from here, May, June, July, August, September, it's going to be tight because the humidity will be really high. Wouldn't that be fun if that came off? Oh, look at this talk. Long comments here. So I was talking about using a CNC machine. It's doable. I know we're not interested in doing this. I know it's certainly doable. Given that we had the original image as a Photoshop file from John the artist. We printed it out on paper, put it on the block. There's registration marks, but we do have computer data, Photoshop data. So it should be doable to put this thing in the bed of a CNC machine. You've got your 0 points. The machine has John's image. You could program it or something to cut out. I don't know. I mean, why bother? I know this is fun for me to do. If it was a factory and we were making many copies of the same parts, it would make sense to, automate the thing. But that's not what we're trying to do, I like doing this. It's fun doing it. The people who get the prints appreciate that it's handmade. It makes a difference, I guess. When this conversation comes up, there's a print in our shop made by my friend Mike Lyon, or designed by my friend Mike Lyon. It's in our catalog. It's called Aspen Grove. And it was cut entirely on a CNC machine. There were no carvers involved. So it's doable. We did that as an experiment a long time ago, about, 2006, maybe 12 years ago or so. Automation and efficiency, quote unquote efficiency, it's not our goal. It's not what we're trying to do here. So. Against the grain there. The distance here, how far to cut around from the printing area. And the printers want us to go as wide as possible. If you get too close, then when they're rubbing this with their brush, pigment gets on this area and you spoil your print. I know they talk about yubi nihon, 2 fingers, or yubi sanbon, yubi 3 fingers. And I'm sticking, pretty much for me it's 2. Some of our printers want me to stay a bit wider. I'd just rather they do it a bit more carefully. bench is slipping more than anything else. Back she goes. Place your bets. I'm going to carve away the registration mark. Okay, just another minute to solve the noise here, then we get back to quiet life. Nearly finished the noisy part. So. Hey, already? What time is it? 9 o'clock. Who could that be? Suga-san may be showing up. It is Suga-san.
おはようございます。
Suga-san, paper is out.
ありがとうございます。
email ありがとうございます。今日、シャワー浴びて、ドア開けて、上は河合さんじゃないですね。次は、ダルマ、レイちゃん。はいはい。次は、熱いパック。すぐさんにもですね、マリオ。マリオじゃないよ、マリオ。
マリオって書いてあった？
はい、そう
です。ごめんなさい。
だからそのままに中に入れた。
嘘。びっくりした。もうびっくりした。びっくりした。って思った。
マリオ、なぜか、今日、紙が干してありますね。どうせやったものですね。これから久保田さんに送りますが、マリオのためですから、マリオが、No, what's going on? What have you done? ですよ。
ごめん。よかったでも出しといてもらって。
本当の名前は Meteoric Power でしょ？
あれ？今やってるやつ。
そう、Meteoric Power。なんでマリオ書いてあったか。
間違えた。
そう。
ありがとうございます。
朝早いですから、悩ん
じゃった。すいません、ありがとうございました。しまっちゃったとびっくりした。
It's Sugi-san coming through. She's on her way upstairs. Whatever, you got the conversation or not. She's in the middle of making the first batch of the edition of Meteoric Power. This is for Kickstarter campaigns. I don't know the game, actually. It's two guys with swords, fighting and slashing at each other. Is it Final Fantasy? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it's Meteoric Power. And she did a first batch of test prints. We had to send the blocks back to Chon-san for some recarving. We did a second batch of test prints. And this is really a print with lots of finesse and delicacy. One of the guys has white hair, which makes things really, really, really difficult to print and carve and print and carve. So the blocks had to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth quite a lot. Anyway, we did settle on what to do, and she's in the middle now of making the first batch of prints. And the back and forth has made this thing about two or 3 weeks late. I think we promised this one to Kickstarter backers in March, I think. It's going to be April instead. Oh, no, we promised it in April, it's going to be in May, I forget. Anyway, it's coming along really well. But the joke today, what's happened is that she's printing this thing, and they pack up their paper, put it in the fridge, and they write something on the outside. You know, Suga-san might write her name, Suga, or whatever, or she might write the name of the print she's making or something. So the instructions I found this morning were to take 2 packages out of the freezer. One for Rei-chan, the young Hong Kong girl. She's doing a bunch of our Dharma print. And then Suga-san's. And when I got there, I found Rei-chan's package, no problem, pull it out. And then I dug around and I couldn't find anything for Suga-san. There's like 10 packages in there, all the different printers and different batches. But one of the batches, it's fairly thick, and it says on the front, Mario. Well, I have no idea why I would say that. Nobody upstairs is working on that print. The blocks are going to go to Kubota-san for working on that a little bit later. So I just guessed that she had made a mistake because the other one starts with the letter M, meteoric power. So I took it out and put it on the counter, not 100% sure that I was correct. So anyway, we chatted with her about it right now, and I said, you wrote Mario on this, right? And she's like, no, I didn't do that. And yes, I did, and whatever. So sorry about the unintelligible conversation. What am I doing here? Okay, we have a minute or so more of banging to do. Let me get this over with. Just this last corner. The other thing you might be asking yourself is, what kind of slave ship are we running here? It's Sunday morning. So this is Sunday morning at 9 o'clock, so why is one of the printers here, And it's simple. She has her own key, she has her own schedule and her own time. So I guess she's married, she and her husband, maybe he has to work today. I'm guessing he has to work today, so she says she'll schedule her work today, and maybe they're both off together tomorrow. I don't know. They run their own times. All I know is when I see that yellow dot on the freezer door, take out the paper, then I know she's coming. For her, this job, it's just made in heaven. Now she thinks she's died and gone to heaven. I said it before. She sets her own schedule. We're strict about the quality of the work, but that's okay. That's not a bug. That's a feature. She gets paid well. The one thing she's really mostly unhappy about this job is that she's still not lonely up there, but there's not enough printers. There's not a real buzzy, busy workshop. None of the printers working for us here are full-time. They won't do full-time. I've asked her, I'd hire her full-time in a minute, but she won't do that. They want this flexibility. And as a result of that, there's quite often times when she's just by herself up there, and she's lonely. All right, I think we're good to go here on the noisy stuff. I could get a bit closer, maybe. Famous last words. I could get a bit closer. It's kind of like hold my beer. I think we're good to go. Okay, here we are now. I mentioned at the beginning of the stream 3 stages. The first stage was cutting the outlines with the knife, the actual scribing. Second stage was clearing to a large extent the waste wood we don't need. And the third and final stage, which actually going to be the most time consuming of these 3 stages, I've now got to clean up. I've got to make the bottom of these oceans flat so that they don't pick up pigment. And then we've got to trim away this last little bit of waste wood that's near the line. Let's do part of this zoomed out and we'll zoom in for part of it. Stage 1, just cleaning up. And again, I'm sorry about being repetitive. I don't know who knows and who doesn't know, but the point of this stage is to leave the wood here as smooth as possible, because if there are striations and nicks and corners and rough spots, they pick up pigment from the brush, and bit by bit, as we're making hundreds of copies, the pigment builds up in those places, it makes peaks, and it starts hitting the paper. So the step I'm doing now is not important at all if you're only making a half a dozen copies of a print, but it's vitally important if you're making hundreds of copies of a print, which is what we do. So. Maybe got most of it. Let's see. I've got everything I can reach with that chisel. This is about, what is it, about 12 millimeters wide. So I got most of it. The block we had yesterday had so many fine lines I couldn't get in there, but this one's covered most of this. So we'll switch down. And what I've got here, there's a bunch. I've got a fifth, this is 12. I've got a 6, a 3, a 2, a 1, and a point. It's a nice little collection. And that I won't need all of them at every moment, of course. Let's have a go. Let's zoom in. And to do that, I'll put the scope back in again, just so I can locate the place where we're doing. Let's start with the flask. So here we are, carving a flask illuminated by a flask. You're talking about food, are you? You're talking about food or prints? I'm not sure what's going on here. Anyway. Now, once you put that light on too, I can see places I didn't get. Look at that. The side light, the angled light, shows parts that I missed in that previous step, you know. Whatever, we'll get them as we're going through here. Kawai-san. We rolled along. 9:21 it is. Look at this. God, I thought I was going to get this block finished this morning. Can't be helped. Can't be helped. Just rolls along. I tell you, something's wrong with the clocks. You know, they just get faster and faster and faster. I can't see the hands spinning. That's a bit of an exaggeration, but something's wrong with the clocks. It's just nothing else to say. Alright, so just to keep on top of what's going on here, this is Sunday morning in Tokyo. Unlike last week when I was thoroughly confused about what day it was. It's Sunday morning. There will be a stream tomorrow. And it will either be finishing up this block or it'll be sizing. I did a bunch of that yesterday as well. Or it'll be sizing. Or it could be, you know, doing... Good morning, Kawai-san. Hello, hello. あれ、何ビール飲みながら
その店のインフォがsome drunker put it.
Saturday night. Okay, Saturday night.
Garbage. So 僕が飲んだみたいに
He comes in holding an empty beer cup in his hand, and I'm like, this is Sunday morning.
I quit.
そうか。
Doubtful.
He comes in holding an empty beer cup in his hand, and I'm like, this is Sunday morning. That's been a tough commute, was it? And I guess he found it outside. It was Saturday night, so yeah. That's about the extent of our Saturday night damage out there. But, you guys are into food conversations, whatever, okay. Kawai-san, they're saying good morning.
Good morning. おはようございます。こんなもん。
Well, I can't possibly finish this morning, so whatever, let's leave this. So as I said, it'll either be tomorrow morning that I'll finish this thing up, or I'll be doing sizing, or as I said, I might be doing the lettering on the May subscription print for Legendary Loot. It's a double-line letter and the girls have trouble with that, so I have to do it myself. So, and today now, it's not a day off for me, but we have 2 competent staff and a very low level of print parties today. So they're going to take care of that stuff. They're going to take care of the shop, and I am headed downstairs. And I know we keep talking about this and promising this pictures and pictures and pictures. I'm sorry. There really haven't been many things to show you because we haven't been doing much work downstairs. The construction has been moving very slowly. And there was pictures I was supposed to show you about the wood that we bought in Kiba a couple of weeks ago. But Aoyama-san has those pictures in his camera still, and he won't be coming back until his family lets him. Anyway, there we are. Okay, so I'll be back tomorrow morning with another stream. After that, there'll be a day off, and then we'll see what happens after that. Signing off. Okay, see you later. Thanks very much. Bye-bye. Step 1, this camera goes off. The mic is still live. Anything dangerous to say? That's before I forget. Let's put the mic back where it belongs. Okay, we are signing off now. Thanks so much, guys. See you tomorrow morning. Thank you again. Dropped frames 0.